Today we're going to start with a pipe cleaner warm-up in order to get our voices ready to sing. Then we'll sing the echo song, Down by the Bay, followed by our call and response song, Going Down to Cairo. Then we'll sing a favorite called Bought Me a Cat, and then Why Shouldn't My Goose. After that, we're going to review our half-rest rhythms and read a few rhythms together. And then we'll end with a movement activity where I play recorder and you'll move to Hey Betty Martin. Then we'll end with a fun songbook, There's a Hole in the Bucket. Hi, next we're going to warm up our voices with the pipe cleaner warm-up. Please echo after me. Ooh. Ew. 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 Woo. Ew. Woo. Ew. Ooh. We're going to sing the song Down by the Bay, which is an echo song where you sing after me. Today I have a fun book that goes with it. It's Down by the Bay. So, here we go. Down by the bay, where the watermelons grow, back to my home I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say. And I sing this part. Did you ever see a moose kissing a goose down by the bay, down by the bay, where the watermelons grow, back to my home I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say. Did you ever see a bear combing his hair down by the bay, down by the bay, where the watermelons grow, back to my home I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say. Did you ever see a fly wearing a tie down by the bay, down by the bay, where the watermelons grow, back to my home I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say. Did you ever see a whale with a polka dot tail down by the bay, down by the bay, where the watermelons grow, back to my home I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say. Did you ever see llamas eating their pajamas down by the bay, down by the bay, where the watermelons grow, back to my home I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say. Did you ever see a goat rowing a boat down by the bay, down by the bay, where the watermelons grow, back to my home I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say. Did you ever see a pig with a curly wig down by the bay, down by the bay, where the watermelons grow, back to my home I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say. Did you ever see a dragon pulling a wagon down by the bay, down by the bay, where the watermelons grow. Back to my home I dare not to go, for if I do, my mother will say, did you ever see a moose kissing a goose? Did you ever see a bear combing his hair? Did you ever see a fly wearing a tie? Did you ever see a whale with the polka dot tail? Did you ever see llamas eating their pajamas? Did you ever see a goat rowing a boat? Did you ever see a pig with a curly wig? Did you ever see a dragon pulling a wagon down by the bay? Next we're going to sing Going Down to Cairo. This is a call and response song, and in a call and response song, my part is different than yours, so my question is different than your answer. I'll sing the whole song with my part and then your part, and the second time through you can sing your part. It goes, going down to Cairo, goodbye and a goodbye. Going down to Cairo, goodbye Liza Jane. Black them boots and make them shine, goodbye and a goodbye. Black them boots and make them shine, goodbye Liza Jane. So your part goes, without my part it goes, goodbye and a goodbye. Goodbye Liza Jane. Goodbye and a goodbye. Goodbye Liza Jane. Now I'll just sing my part and you put in your part. Going down to Cairo. Going down to Cairo. Black them boots and make them shine. Black them boots and make them shine. Going down to Cairo. Going down to Cairo. Black them boots and make them shine. Black them boots and make them shine. Bought me a cat and the cat pleased me. Fed my cat under yonder tree. The cat went fiddly-fee. Now let's buy a hen. Bought me a hen and the hen pleased me. Fed my hen under yonder tree. The hen went chimmy-chuck, chimmy-chuck. The cat went fiddly-fee. Buy a duck. Bought me a duck and the duck pleased me. Fed my duck under yonder tree. The duck went quack, quack. The hen went chimmy-chuck, chimmy-chuck. The cat went fiddly-fee. Let's buy a goose. Bought me a goose and the goose pleased me. Fed my goose under yonder tree. The goose went hissy, hissy. The duck went quack, quack. The hen went chimmy-chuck, chimmy-chuck. The cat went fiddly-fee. The cat went fiddly-fee. Next, let's sing Why Shouldn't My Goose together. Why shouldn't my goose sing as well as thy goose, when I paid for my goose twice as much as thine? Why shouldn't my goose sing as well as thy goose, when I paid for my goose twice as much as thine? Why shouldn't my goose sing as well as thy goose, when I paid for my goose twice as much as thine? Why shouldn't my goose sing as well as thy goose, when I paid for my goose twice as much as thine? Next, we're going to review one of the notes we learned in music class this year. Do you remember this note? What is it called? This note is called the half rest, and it looks like a line with a little box on top. Do you remember what it's equal to? The half rest is an easier way to write 2/4 rest. It means the same thing, it's just a quicker way to write it. Do you remember how many sounds this note makes? Or how many beats it lasts? The half rest makes 0 sound, and it lasts for 2 beats. You could write it as 2/4 rests as well. Now we're going to read some rhythm patterns with half rests in them. For each pattern, I'll tap the beat, and first you can try to read it without me, and then you can read it with me to check your answer. So here's the first one. Ta, ta. Ta, ti, ti. Ti, 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 ti. Ta. 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 Ti, 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 ti. Ta. Ti, ti, ta. Ta, ta. Next, we're going to do a movement activity. I'm going to play the recorder, and when I play, you can move. So stand up, put your bubble on. You can paint inside of your bubble any color you want. So when I play, this is the recorder that the 3rd and 4th graders are playing. When you get to 3rd and 4th grade, you can play this too. This is the song called Betty Martin. And when I play, you can move to the music, and then when I stop, then freeze. Next, we're going to do the song, There's a Hole in the Bucket. It's a very, very old folk song that's adapted by John Feyerabend. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, a hole. Mend the hole, dear Georgie, dear Georgie, dear Georgie. Mend the hole, dear Georgie, dear Georgie, the hole. With what shall I mend it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what shall I mend it, dear Liza? With what? With straw, dear Georgie, dear Georgie, dear Georgie. With straw, dear Georgie, dear Georgie, with straw. But the straw is too long, dear Liza, dear Liza. But the straw is too long, dear Liza, too long. Then cut it, dear Georgie, dear Georgie, dear Georgie. Then cut it, dear Georgie, dear Georgie. Then cut it. With what shall I cut it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what shall I cut it, dear Liza? With what? With a knife, dear Georgie, dear Georgie, dear Georgie. With a knife, dear Georgie, dear Georgie, a knife. But the knife is too dull, dear Liza, dear Liza. But the knife is too dull, dear Liza, too dull. Then it says wet the knife, and that means sharpen it. Wet the knife then, dear Georgie, dear Georgie, dear Georgie. Wet the knife then, dear Georgie, dear Georgie, then wet it. With what shall I wet it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what shall I wet it, dear Liza? With what? With a stone, dear Georgie, dear Georgie, dear Georgie. With a stone, dear Georgie, dear Georgie, a stone. But the stone is too dry, dear Liza, dear Liza. But the stone is too dry, dear Liza, too dry. Wet the stone then, dear Georgie, dear Georgie, dear Georgie. Wet the stone then, dear Georgie, dear Georgie, then wet it. In what shall I wet it, dear Liza, dear Liza? In what shall I wet it, dear Liza? In what? In the bucket, dear Georgie, dear Georgie, dear Georgie. In the bucket, dear Georgie, dear Georgie, the bucket. But there's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, a hole. I hope you enjoyed today's second grade music lesson. You can do these lessons multiple times, perhaps 3 or so during the week if you would like, because in class we would typically sing these songs over 3 weeks or so. So happy singing!